Who am I preaching to anyway? Are they already convinced that of whatever I'm going to say? Or am I going to talk to the banksters of the world? But when I thought about that, I said, well, they probably don't go to church. So what I'm going to talk about is the how we should talk to the unawares. And there are unawares. Now, I brought a special poem about unawares that I found in my mother's estate. And she died 34 years ago. And that's a very special poem. And I think it belongs in a church. It would make a good text for church. So I brought it tonight to read to you. It was a poem written by a woman named Emma Lent. And it was on the radio, December 23rd, in the year 1934. And it's called Unawares. They said the Master's coming to honor the pound today. And no one can tell at what house or home the Master will choose to stay. And I thought, well, my heart beat wildly. What if he should come to mine? How would I strive to entertain and honor the guest divine? And straight I turned to toiling, to make my house more neat. I swept and polished and garnished and decked it with blossoms sweet. I was troubled for fear the Master might come ere my task was done. And I hastened and worked faster and watched the hurrying sun. But right in the middle of my duties, a woman came to my door. She had come to tell me her sorrows and my comfort and aid to implore. And I said, I cannot listen nor help you any today. I have greater things to attend to. And the pleader turned away. But soon there came another, a cripple, thin, pale, and gray, and said, oh, let me stop and rest a while in your home, I pray. I've traveled far since morning. I'm hungry and faint and weak. My heart is full of misery, and comfort and help I seek. And I said, I am grieved and sorry, but I cannot help you today. I look for a great and noble guest. And the cripple went away. And the day wore onward swiftly, and my task was nearly done, and a prayer was ever in my heart that the Master to me might come. And I thought I would spring to meet him and serve him with utmost care, when a little child stood by me with a face so sweet and fair, sweet but with marks of teardrops, and his clothes were tattered and old, a finger was bruised and bleeding, and his little bare feet were cold. And I said, I'm sorry for you. You are sorely in need of care, but I cannot stop to give it. You must hasten otherwhere. And at the words a shadow swept o'er his blue-veined brow. Someone will feed you and clothe you, dear, but I'm too busy now. At last the day was ended, and my toil was over and done. My house was swept and garnished, and I watched in the dusk alone. Watched, but no footfall sounded. No one paused at my gate. No one entered my cottage door. I could only pray and wait. I waited until night had deepened, and the Master had not come. He has entered some other door, I cried, and gladdened some other home. My labor had been for nothing, and I bowed my head and wept. My heart was sore with longing, and yet, in spite of it all, I slept. Then the Master stood before me, and his face was grave and fair. 3 times today I came to your door and craved your pity and care. 3 times you sent me onward, unhelped, uncomforted, unfed, and the blessing you might have had was lost, and your chance to serve has fled. O Lord, dear Lord, forgive me. How could I know it was thee? My very soul was shamed and bowed in the depths of humility. And he said, the sin is pardoned, but the blessing is lost to thee. For comforting not the least of mine, you have failed to comfort me. I think I understand why my mother would have kept that poem all those years.